The top 3 Lao Tzu quotes. Lao Tzu was a Chinese philosopher and writer who founded the philosophical system of Taoism, the importance of living in harmony with the natural flow of things. His name literally means old master, and he is traditionally considered to be the author of the Tao Te Ching, a short book that explicates the principles of Taoism. Although relatively little is known about his life, Lao Tzu remains one of the most significant figures in Chinese philosophy. Here are 3 of his most famous quotes. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. But what does it really mean? To love deeply is to be vulnerable. It is to put your heart on the line, knowing that there is a chance it could be broken. But it is also an act of courage. It takes bravery to open yourself up to another person, to let them see your flaws and weaknesses. And yet, it is also an act of strength. To love deeply is to be strong enough to handle the pain of rejection and loss. It is to have the faith that, despite the risks, love is worth fighting for. So, next time you hear this quote, remember that it contains a great deal of truth. Deep love requires both courage and strength. But it is always worth the risk. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are. Compassionate toward yourself. You reconcile all beings in the world. This passage from an ancient text is a perfect example of living in harmony with the natural flow of things. The call to simplicity reminds us that true happiness does not come from acquiring more and more possessions. Instead, it comes from learning to appreciate the simple things in life. The injunction to be patient is a reminder that everything happens in its own time, and that force only leads to more suffering. Finally, the call to compassion reminds us of our interconnectedness with all beings, and urges us to act with kindness and understanding. When we live in accordance with these 3 principles, we are able to find true peace and contentment. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This famous quote attributed to Lao Tzu is also found in the writings of the poet John Milton. Regardless of its origin, the message is clear: even the longest and most daunting journey can be undertaken if we are willing to take that first step. This simple truth can be applied to both physical journeys and metaphorical ones. In our personal lives, we may often find ourselves facing seemingly insurmountable challenges, especially in this fast-paced life we find ourselves caught up in. But if we can pause and ensure we are on the right path, we just need to summon the courage to take that first step, and we may find that the journey is not as difficult as we imagined. The same is true of our collective journey as a human race. We face many problems in the world today, but if we can come together and take that first step towards solving them, we may find that the road ahead is not as long or as daunting as it appears. Lao Tzu's ideas influenced many other thinkers, including Chuang-Tzu, Mencius, and Confucius. In addition, his concepts of wu-wei, action through non-action, and yin and yang, the interdependent opposition of forces, have become integral parts of Chinese culture. If you are interested in finding out more about Taoism, there is a link to the Tao Te Ching in the description. If you have found this video interesting, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.